Welcome back to our cabinet of curiosities. And today we're going to draw a new draw out. Shall I go and get one?
Absolutely. Let's see what you find.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
So I'll just step over Louis and kind of pulling ones apart here. We've done that, How about this bottom one?
Okay. Does it look a good one?
It looks like a really, gosh, quite a diverse one actually.
Okay, watch you don't trip over Louis
This is,
coming back.
This is quite an interesting mix of pieces, which some you'll recognise, Sheila, and some are, from the past.
Well, I can see at least one that I've never seen before.
Yeah, no, there's some. Oh, where to start?
Yeah.
Actually, I think I might start with this because I do actually. Do you know? I absolutely love this, and I made this quite a few years ago. As a little smock, a little party smock for.
So pretty.
A child, and you see the back and the front, and it was when I was using lots of sari ribbon.
Yes.
And I think I'm going to introduce some ribbons into our lovely range of beautiful yarns and start going back to that creative use of ribbon, because I think it works.
Knitted through.
So very, very well. Knitted through.
Both and stranded.
So sometimes it's woven.
On the outside.
Sometimes it's woven. And like in here, this is a really nice example. So I actually made a series of lace stitches.
Yes, eyelet type
things. And then and drop stitches. Wrap stitches, so that you could then actually weave the ribbon through. It's quite subtle, but really, really, really nice. And then I moved on to doing 1-on-1 Fair Isle.
Okay.
Making,
yes, I see it now. Yeah.
Making a pearl stitch in the ribbon, so you can see the texture then comes out, and this little bit of glittery loveliness. And then we've got the eyelet.
Yes, same as the bottom section.
And then we've got this where I've stranded the ribbon to the front rather than the back. So
okay,
it's
so you're
Fair Isle
holding
in
the
reverse.
ribbon on the outer side,
Yes.
as it were, instead of the inner side.
And it just makes such a nice effect. And of course I finished it off. So I used the ribbons to tie the sides, which I like that. And then here, to make it easy to get on and off, I might make an adult version of this. This is quite a fun thing. Do let me know if you think this is a good idea. And I did little bobbles as buttons with the buttonholes there, which works really, really, really well. Now, interestingly, this edge, I will have to do a wee video for you all on this edge because I absolutely love it. It's a two colour cast on, but then with a little tricky bit which makes it double thickness and actually really, really nice. I'd forgotten all about that. That's definitely one to reinvent. Isn't it nice?
Is this the same as the two colour cast on that we did for those little one-on-one wristbands that we did for some workshops a few years
It's
ago.
slightly different because it's using the one-on-one, but then I've stranded to the front one of the colours so that it balances and stops it curling, which we all hate. Yeah, so that does genuinely go back quite a few years. And do you know, I would absolutely love to hear what people thought, if they love it as much as I do, and whether they think that would be a nice little smock pattern.
Do you think the ribbon's available?
I think it is. If not, we can have a go at making it, cutting up something, upcycling, and then we can pass on how to do that for people, which I think would be really cool. Used to do a lot of that. So that'd be a nice thing to revisit, actually.
Yeah.
So
great. What a lovely start.
Yeah.
What a great start.
So Sheila, what have you got your eye on?
Well, now this might be slightly before my time with you, but this is very, very much. Well, there's two pieces here. I remember you doing this when we were working on our book.
Yeah. That's the Gansey knitting source
the
book.
knitting source book, and one of the pieces I was busy working on some of the other pieces, but you were very much on the shawl, the Cardium shawl, and these I remember were your prototypes.
Yes, they were. So I was playing around. This is the very first one. And I was playing around with the gusset. You can see at the bottom here, this is a classic gusset. And I was looking at how to use that part of the construction from a Gansey and how to make it into a shawl. So increasing out.
Both in the centre and at each side.
Centre and at each side.
4 increases.
And so then I was putting in some abstract cabling, and I came to the idea of the lace print of the hoop pattern, which I really liked. So I abandoned this and I went to this. I thought I'll try, and I'll put some cabling in this time, which is actually lovely too, looking back. So we've got like a classic Gansey cable. We've got one of the joining stitches sections.
One of the seam stitch.
And the print of the hoof. And then I thought, well, actually, I do still like that. That's really quite nice. But then I thought, let's concentrate on the print of the hoof. And using the shape of the print of the hoof for the increases, which now has become a shawl. And we've actually got a couple, haven't we, of... do you want to pop and find them?
Yeah, they're just over here.
Because it's that lovely shape that I was starting to explore. You can see it there. Heart shape that happens.
We have a wee collection, actually.
Oh, that.
We have a wee collection because people like it. So this is the most recent one.
Oh yeah, this is lovely. This is in the Lalland. Look at that.
So these are all the great thing about the shawl actually is that in the book the pattern as it's given is a relatively small piece. It's more of a neck piece, but if you want, it's so easy just to carry on doing the increases and doing more pattern.
And you get this lovely heart shape here, which is Cardium, is Greek for heart.
Yeah.
From the print of the hoof and the gusset, the increase is like a gusset. So you can actually make it whatever length you have, because I think you want, because we've got a really nice, very super long one here.
Yeah, I think these two are,
which is really,
that's a bigger one.
Really fab. Yeah. You can really see the pattern in the agate. In the book it's not in this yarn, but it does translate really beautifully into the Lalland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love it.
So it's interesting, isn't it? I often start with an idea, and then it's the development of that idea through several small samples till you know you've got to what's right. And sometimes, as in those cases, it was actually a case of slightly simplifying, not trying to throw too much in, but just simplifying down to get a really nice pattern that knitters would enjoy. Yeah. So that's a lovely journey, that one. Well, I absolutely love this.
Now this dye, I have never actually, to the best of my recollection, I don't think I've ever seen this before. So this
is from 25 years ago, when I was doing a lot of experimentation with fibre, and you know, when I had a couple of shops and I was stocking lots of interesting yarns. So there was the fibre company. Yes. Terra, I used to stock.
Yes, I know. Yes, I've certainly knitted with Terra, and the ribbon from Collinette, which sadly we can't get anymore. Yeah. This is more sari ribbon, isn't it?
Sari ribbon.
And what's this?
Linen.
Oh yes.
This is from Louet, so it was spun in Belgium, Canadian company, which I did a couple of designs in. Again, a lovely lace pattern. Oh, linen takes lace so well, doesn't it? And I put some beads in there. You can see some little beads. And then this is a Japanese linen ribbon. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Quite extraordinary. And just the effects of it running through.
Goodness.
Isn't it beautiful? It's very papery.
Paper.
It's a paper.
It very much is.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I did quite a few designs using all of those
elements,
fabrics.
all of those elements.
Again, with this lovely lace stitch, simple lace stitch. And then here, a little bit of Fair Isle, provisional cast on, which I still haven't finished the edge. So I've got to decide what to do there. That'll be really interesting. So yeah. And that's what we're doing at the moment for La Fetiche, for the design portfolio for
yeah, we are.
Next year I'm working with cut up fabric.
Yeah.
Which is always interesting.
It's very much upcycling.
Upcycling.
Very much. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's quite a hard act to follow, actually, this one. Because this is experimentation in to quite a high degree, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. It's very freeing. It's play.
I've
play, and it's very freeing.
I've never seen this bit before.
I think we should do a really super creative class again soon, doing something like that.
Must have been well.
With ribbons and lace.
Yeah, we need to get some supplies in.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's where I'd like to go.
Definitely. Yeah.
Now, this is a small piece, but I think that is you
is that
testing.
Me? Oh, looking at so this is a piece in Fibre Co. I'm right in saying?
Yes, yeah.
Why not? And we were looking at abstract cabling in a slubbed
Yes.
yarn. So you wouldn't want to put too much of you know, lots of texture patterns wouldn't work in this, because they would fight against each other and get lost. But bigger things like cables, you can always get away with in this kind of yarn.
Yeah. It's a beautiful yarn, isn't it? It's very
I
nice.
can't remember where we went with this, but it's nice to.
I think we were going to, and we still are thinking about doing a nice cardigan using the abstract cabling and moss stitch from the design that I did for the Knitter magazine many years ago. But in a lighter weight, very subtle.
Yes.
It's funny when you come back on something and you think,
this is a nice.
That's really nice.
It's definitely not too chunky. And the slub gives it
it's very nice.
Really nice look, doesn't it? The two colours. Yeah. Great. Good. What else?
So this takes me back. We have talked about Medium Kirchhoff before, who we did a lot of work with for London Fashion Week.
That was really the first time that I started working with you.
Yes. And
really, that was the first project.
Got this massive, it was a massive commission.
That we did together.
Huge. So this, and you can see that they loved my Shoowa design, so they, not Shoowa, the Sheila. So they kind of, we used all of that. And this was a massive skirt. And you can see it's all the kind of Gansey patterns.
What you would really call a midi skirt.
Yes.
Wasn't it? It was very much
calf length.
Mid-calf length.
Panels, massive panels. This was just a sampler with some little edging. And this was all gathered, and so I came up with this idea of using an Elizabethan technique where they used to, for the big skirts that they wore, and they used to I threaded through linen.
And you pull it tight.
So you can see it's just evenly, and then it's a bit of magic this. You just pull, and then you get this wonderful.
It's like being laced.
Ruche.
It's like being laced into a corset.
It's like being laced into a corset. So if you can imagine this amazing skirt, and then they wanted me to over knit over all of the diamond panels cabling. So this is using, and there's a small video on this, on how to pick up and knit out and attach as you're going.
Attach back in every so often.
Attach back in, and you can't see a thing on the back.
Every few rows.
But you can see that was framing the Tree of Life pattern.
But this is actually, it might be difficult to see, but this is actually a cable. This isn't just an I-cord or anything.
No.
This is actually
knitted flat cable.
A knitted flat cable. Just over 4 stitches by the looks of things.
Yes, because I noticed somebody had commented on the over knitting out video that they'd seen somebody else in the States doing I-cord like that. But this very much isn't I-cord. And the knitting out, you can do it as I-cord, but basically you're knitting flat. So you're going backwards and forwards on double pointed needles. So you can increase and decrease. You can cable, you can do all sorts of interesting things.
Obviously, the thing that the cable brings to the party, if you like, is the scallop. It gives you a scalloped edge.
Gives you a scalloped edge. It's quite effective, isn't it?
So just
took hours.
Looking at it, I remember the length of that skirt and the width of that skirt, and it was very, very
Yeah.
intense.
Very intense. So that, but interesting techniques.
Yeah.
As always.
Yeah.
So that's medium Kirchhoff, nicely parked away.
Yeah, yeah. So this one dye, does that bit date back to the medium Kirchhoff as well?
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure. That was when I joined you,
Yes.
so I'm not sure that I saw all the early stages of medium of that particular project. I came in to do the witch sweater and a few other things.
So I was doing endless leggings and lots of diamonds, Gansey
so this
patterns. And I asked people that were working with me then to sample some diamonds,
some different diamond patterns.
And I kept this because it is lovely, but it's as you can see, it's not
Gansey.
It's not actually Gansey.
Well, half of it's Gansey.
Half is, yeah.
Half of it's Gansey. So this half, the raised diamonds and the interplay of stocking stitch and reverse stocking stitch is very much Gansey. And these particular chunky diamonds, they're
nice.
They're nice. They're in the book. They're very Scottish, these ones. But this segment here is actually a whole lot of Aran type cabling to create the effect of diamonds. So where in Gansey you would create the diamonds as here using a raised reverse stocking stitch, a purl stitch. Here you create the diamond by passing one, it's in effect a two-stitch cable. You're putting one stitch over.
So it's travelling.
It's travelling. And that's how you create this. It's how you create these lines. But it's
rather nice.
And it's rather nice.
It's lovely to revisit. It's a lovely panel.
It is. Yeah. So did you say that Mandy did this?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's lovely.
In the little studio.
That's lovely.
Before we moved here.
That's great. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen this before.
And two yarns together, so there's a classic two-ply Shetland jumper weight.
I tell you, one of the things that's so lovely about it is that you get the different light.
It's very goldy, isn't it? It's lovely.
The different effect of the more, was it a?
It's almost like a kid silk haze.
I was going to say, was there some silk in there?
Yeah.
That one, if it
kid
sits,
mohair silk.
if it comes through to the top, it brings it very much to life, doesn't it?
Yeah, really nice.
Gosh, yeah. Great. Amazing.
I know.
Is there anything else we need to talk about?
So, well, there's the Shoowa. So, this is what we recreated last year.
It's actually, it's 2 years ago just now we were working on the the current version of the retro Shoowa.
Yes.
2 years ago just now, and then a couple of years before that we had created the Shoowa jacket. Yeah. So it's a design that we really like
love it.
To revisit and reinvent.
Yeah.
In different ways.
And we'll be talking about that.
Absolutely. We're going to do a separate
series of programs devoted especially to it.
Yeah.
But this, interestingly, I was experimenting with different colours, mainly because we used to knit a lot for people.
The very
who
first
would order
one.
them.
The very first one I did.
Yes, was for
a customer.
Yes, French.
Yes,
customer, and so I'd knit up lots of little samples with possibilities, and this one was with a black Welsh natural but with indigo dyed. And this was when I helped start at the very beginning Sheila's yarn on Sky, and the madder, then this now that I think was an indigo dip over a very light cochineal dip, which is not used much now anymore because that's the crushed beetle, but that gave it this lavendery colour, and I particularly liked it. And so this then went on to be a garment for somebody. So
that was the colour scheme that they chose.
They wanted, well, they asked me to work out a colour scheme to suit them.
Yes, yeah.
And this very much suited. They wanted the more muted, natural colours, and they work really, really well. Although madder can be incredibly strong, and I love the depth of this.
Yeah,
it's a wonderful depth of colour. So it's lovely to see something knitted from, this is 1985. That still looks vibrant today, doesn't it? It's amazing.
I think the Shoowa lends itself to amazing,
yes,
and very special colourways.
It does. You can play with it so much.
I think it really does.
And then I think at the bottom here is, and we talked about before, the diamond gussets. This is how we work with
yes.
People send us a drawing. Drawing. After I've sent, I then developed this whole gussets being sewn together. That was the drawing with the spec. This is how we work in fashion. I think it's quite interesting for people to see that we have all these.
We have it down to small portions of centimetres. So we work to very fine, very detailed guidelines.
Yeah, with colours.
Which can be. I mean, it's what happens with machine knit garments all the time.
Yeah.
But with hand knit, and even if you're extremely particular about tension, you can't always get to plus or minus 0.5 of a centimetre.
Exactly.
It's just not always possible, but we do our best.
And we really do. And of course then the charts where I have to work out the maths.
Because the body was this lovely sort of light and dark diamond effect.
So everything gets charted.
Yeah.
And there was a little these are the little gussets.
The little gussets. Some of the
got sewn together.
But they all became different sizes.
They were all different sizes for the sleeves and everything.
And then different colours.
So we were making hundreds of these little gussets.
Hundreds.
Some just in natural and some in multicoloured.
Yeah. I had whole kits. I used to put them all in separate envelopes.
Yeah.
And label the envelopes.
Yes.
This was a 15 stitch gusset, or this was a
20
17 stitch gusset, or this was.
And that was Alex Gore Brown, the designer. Yeah. And you can see the Harlequin sweater on her Instagram going back a couple of years. It's really beautiful. We made a little collection, didn't we, for that?
We got there in the end.
We got there in the end. And finally, because I do love that 1-on-1 with a ribbon, back to the ribbons.
Yeah,
with cashmere.
This is again the Giotto. Am I right in saying Giotto?
Bit of an experiment
from Collinette. Such a shame that.
And do you remember I made a headband in it?
Yes, for
was it Lady Harlow?
Lady Harlow, when we were doing the Edinburgh Fashion Festival.
Absolutely, and she gave a wonderful talk.
Yeah,
she was a muse for Karl Lagerfeld.
Yes, at Dior. Yeah,
and she had a conversation with her daughter, which we were invited to, which was recorded, and I was asked to make something for her.
It was part of the festival, the International Fashion Festival.
And so I used, so this is pink cashmere with dark grey cashmere and ribbon, and I made this lovely kind of 20s headband.
Yeah, no, I remember it.
Which
vividly.
She put on, and it looked absolutely amazing. And it was a wonderful talk she gave about roses and her garden and scent and how that triggers memory and of her mother and her mother giving her roses, very much as my mother did. And you know, we both love roses. And how you keep them,
and we give each other roses.
We give each other roses.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I remember that evening.
It was lovely.
Very.
She was sat with her daughter, and I thought it was really lovely.
She was. Yeah.
So well, thank you so much for listening and watching us go through yet another and reminisce.
Another drawer full of special things.
Yeah. And do tell us about your stories of roses and flowers and flower gardens and those evocative smells, because they do mean a lot.
Yeah. It's been lovely having your company today, and as always, we can't wait to find out what we're going to come across next in the next episode.